The main card presents episode 13 of the show, and how unlucky are we to be in this situation right now? And I'm only saying that because, well, if you're a wrestling fan, you've probably heard the news of what's going on with WWE TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, and that is the fact that Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt will not be featuring on the pay-per-view. Well, the thing is, so reports are going around the internet saying that Reigns and Wyatt are not going to be at the pay-per-view because there is a case of viral meningitis that has hit the Raw locker room, and two of the biggest people who have suffered from that, who have been hit by that, is Bray Wyatt and Roman Reigns, which leads to them being unable to perform at the pay-per-view at WWE TLC. Now, I for one am upset, particularly when it comes to these two, because I wanted to see what's going to transpire between the Demon versus Sister Abigail, because I like that storyline. I was following that storyline. But more especially, I am especially upset because of the fact that the Shield in its entirety is not going to be at WWE TLC, because Roman Reigns obviously is not going to be present. And that irks me because everything, was just coming together when it comes to the Shield. They came together. The first time they made their debut was in that same building that they broke up in and they reformed in. Everything happened in that same building. The Shield had its first match at WWE TLC 5 years ago. And now they were going to have their first match back together again at WWE TLC 5 years later. So everything was just coming together story-wise, and out of nowhere, the meningitis just decided, hey, I'm going to ruin all of that. And it did. Okay. So, where do we stand now in terms of the match card for WWE TLC? Here is where it stands. So, what's going to be happening at TLC right now, even though Roman Reigns is not there, the Shield is going to be teaming up with the Raw general manager. None other than Kurt Angle himself is going to be teaming up with the Shield versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, The Miz, who is the Intercontinental Champion, Braun Strowman, and Kane. So even though we don't have Roman Reigns, we do have Kurt Angle. So that makes up for it. All right. Now, Bray Wyatt's also out, but the WWE has been gracious enough to grace us with AJ Styles versus the Demon Finn Balor. So that's a lot of people are liking that, and so am I. So what I decided to do is go through the match card and then also give you the top 5 things to look out for, to look forward to at WWE TLC. So the match card now stands as follows. This is courtesy of WWE.com. Of course, we are going to be having Drew Gulak presenting his WWE Cruiserweight Championship edition of his PowerPoint presentation. This is going to be happening, I'm not sure what's going to be happening during the kickoff. Yeah, it's going to be happening during the kickoff show. Now, for those of us who are going to be able to watch the kickoff show, we're also going to be seeing a match between Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox. Both of those are going to be happening during the kickoff show. If you want to watch the kickoff show, you can either watch it on WWE's YouTube page, or you can watch it on the WWE Network if you're a subscriber. So make sure you do catch that. We also do have a Cruiserweight Tag Team match. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann will be teaming up together to face Gentleman Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. Also, we have a Cruiserweight Championship match. Kalisto, the champion, will be defending against Enzo Amore. Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss will be facing Mickie James. And we also have the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, will be making her main roster debut against Emma. We'll have the Demon Finn Balor and AJ Styles going up against each other. And we'll also have a 5-on-3 handicap TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match. Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose versus the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, Cesaro, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Kane. Now, here are 5 things to look forward to during WWE TLC. This is just according to me, number 5, you can look forward to Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James for the Raw Women's Championship. And the reason why I put this at number 5 is because a lot of people are saying online that, okay, this is just going to be a straightforward match with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, where Alexa Bliss is going to be, eventually she's going to win the match because that's what she's been doing. But there is a very great chance of Mickie James here winning, and here's why. Given the way things are happening right now, actually there's two reasons why. Given the way things are happening right now, with all the shifts and the changes that have been happening with regards to this viral meningitis, these reports that are coming through because of that, you can't not see Mickie James not winning as a huge surprise to people. Like, oh wow, we didn't expect that. And it's also the second reason because people don't expect it, because we know Mickie James is going for her 7th women's championship in the WWE. So I wouldn't put it past Mickie James to not do it. So I put this at number 5 because I think Mickie James might actually win. And a lot of people will think otherwise, but hey, it's fine. I think she's gonna win, but we'll see. Number 4, we have the cruiserweights in action, and the reason why this is number 4 is because I think that the cruiserweights are going to have a bit more time to show off their stuff, and they're going to have more eyes on them to show off their stuff, because the biggest draw for this pay-per-view was the Shield coming back, and they were going to be in the main event, all 3 of them together. So one would say that by this pay-per-view, is going to draw a lot of eyes, especially now since the fact that Kurt Angle is going to be wrestling. So there's going to be a lot more people watching this pay-per-view, and it's going to give a chance for the cruiserweights, especially in my opinion for Cedric Alexander, because he needs it in the sense that people, they want to see more Cedric, but then they don't see as much of Cedric as they would like in terms of him being in the title picture. So now this is an opportunity for you guys to get Cedric and Rich Swann showing what they can do against Gentleman Jack and Brian Kendrick, particularly on this big stage that is TLC. That's going to have a whole lot more eyes watching on it. I think the cruiserweights are going to have more time, given how everything is panning out thus far behind the scenes. And this also gives Kalisto and Enzo Amore an opportunity as well to give over a great match. We know what Kalisto can do, so maybe he'll help Enzo in that vein and carry the match and make it entertaining. But I'm mostly looking forward to the cruiserweight tag team match between Cedric and Rich Swann, along with Gentleman Jack and the Brian Kendrick. So that's number 4. At a tie for number 2, now a lot of people might not agree with this, but at a tie for number 2 of things to look forward to during WWE TLC, I have The Shield teaming up with Kurt Angle versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, The Miz, Braun Strowman and Kane. It's tied with the Demon Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. Now, the reason why these are tied for 2 is because the Shield would have been number 1. The Shield would have been number 1 with The Bar, The Miz, Strowman, and Kane. But minus Roman Reigns, it kind of ruins, that whole air of, it's the Shield reunion, because that's what we were looking forward to. That's why it was built the way it was built. But now you have Kurt Angle added there. So it still gives it that star power. It still gives that main event to look forward to. So it's tied for number 2 because of the fact that, it's minus Roman Reigns. But it's still a great thing to look forward to. It's still a great match to look forward to. It's still a great tables, ladders, and chairs match to look forward to. The reason why it's tied with the Demon Finn Balor and AJ Styles is because, for those who don't know, AJ Styles and Finn Balor have not faced each other ever in their careers, and both of them are former members of the Bullet Club down in New Japan. So everybody has always been talking about this possibly being a dream match between AJ and Finn, and now it's going to happen sooner than later. It's going to happen much sooner than we thought. It's actually going to happen Sunday in America and Monday morning here. And people are already saying that this is a match of the year candidate simply because of who's in it. So one has to look forward to it because of the fact that it's these 2 individuals, and they've both proven that they can put on a great match. So now I think it's going to be a great match because of the fact that this is a WrestleMania worthy match, but then it has that star power now to sort of how can I put it? It has that star power to draw a lot of eyes and to make people okay, let's see what's going to happen, because like I said, these 2 people have never faced each other in their careers, and now they're going to have a chance to do it at TLC. Barring the fact that AJ Styles is from SmackDown Live and he's been roped into a Raw pay-per-view, but it's understandable. And he's going to be facing not just Finn Balor, but he's going to be facing the demon Finn Balor. So now we know how the demon is. We know how Finn is when he taps into the demon persona, as opposed to just being the man Finn Balor. So it's a match to look forward to, definitely. And is it going to be a match of the year candidate? It probably will be, but I have my reservations. But obviously I'm going to watch it. I'm not saying that people shouldn't watch it. Obviously not. I'm not that much of a douche. But I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to look forward to seeing it, simply because it's AJ Styles and simply because it's Finn Balor. But for me, the number one thing that people should look forward to during WWE TLC is Asuka versus Emma. And here's why. Asuka's debut has been building for the past number of weeks. It's been built up for the past number of weeks because Asuka is the longest reigning champion of any kind in the WWE in the modern era. That's number one. Number two, Asuka has it's been a thing that Asuka is gonna go to the main roster sooner or later, and it's gonna happen. And for me, it's the number one thing to look forward to, simply because it's Asuka and she's finally here on the main roster now, and she's finally gonna be tangling now with these women who are on the main roster. She hasn't fought with some of them. She hasn't fought with a lot of them. She's had matches with some of them, but not all of them. Now she's going to be getting an opportunity to be able to show her stuff against all the other people, such as Sasha Banks, for instance. I haven't seen Asuka have a match with Sasha Banks. She's going to be having a chance to show off stuff against Alexa Bliss, for instance. There's also the possibility of her facing Nia Jax again. There's also the possibility of her facing Bayley again. So it presents itself in the manner that Asuka, now she's here. Now we want to see what Asuka's going to be able to do against all these women. Plus, I think this should be in the main event. Yeah, I know it's not going to be in the main event, but I think it should be in the main event. Because of how big it is in my eyes. I sound like a douche. Not because of how big it is in my eyes, but because of how big it is in general. It's Asuka debut on the main roster, and now you don't have the whole Shield like you did before. You know, you have part of the Shield, but not the whole Shield. Sure, you have Kurt Angle, and so people are going to be looking forward to that, and that's why it's going to be the main event. But imagine like if you put Asuka versus Emma in the main event. You know, I think that would be cool, but hey, that's just me. But I also think that this is just more wishful thinking than anything else. Imagine if Paige makes her return at TLC. Imagine if Paige, maybe after the match with Emma and Asuka, she makes her return somewhere there. That's just wishful thinking from my part. But hey. So if you're in South Africa, you're going to be able to watch WWE TLC Monday morning live from 2 a.m. on SuperSport 4, and the rest of Africa is going to be able to watch the pay-per-view on SuperSport 8. And if you're not going to be waking up like the rest of us, you're going to be able to watch the repeat of the pay-per-view at 7 at night on SuperSport 11 and on SuperSport 9. But I'm going to be waking up on Monday morning to watch it at 2 a.m. live like the rest of the world on SuperSport 4. And of course, the hashtag is SSWWE, and you can tweet at SuperSport TV. And, you know, we'll be live tweeting. I'll be live tweeting throughout the pay-per-views because I'm very excited for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the main card. Top 5 things to look forward to during WWE TLC coming on Monday morning at 2 a.m. That is on Sunday in the United States of America. So, I cannot wait, and I hope you guys are also excited as well. And we'll see you guys at TLC for the debut of Asuka. For the comeback of the Shield, well, not the whole Shield now, nobody was going to be, but hey, the Demon Finn Balor versus the phenomenal AJ Styles, and also for the return after 11 years of Kurt Angle to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE TLC, we'll see you there.